Hello, I'm Christopher Bayliss from Intergage Fast Growth. Thank you for downloading the workbook entitled Plan How to Increase Your Profitable Sales. With me today is Andy Galloway, who's the Sales Director of Hantec EQM. Andy, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you just briefly tell me what Hantec EQM does, please?
Yes, certainly. We work with client companies on their compliancy requirement. We help them embed the compliancy requirements into their day-to-day practices so that they comply with their regulations as they go about their daily tasks.
Okay, interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
So you've got a copy of the workbook in front of you. What I'm going to do now is just talk about the purpose of this workbook and what's the strategic problem. And then I'm just going to set the context for this. And I'm going to share with the viewer and reader 3 valuable hints on using this particular workbook. Okay?
Absolutely.
So, plan how to increase your profitable sales. Most of us who've become Intergage Fast Growth clients want to substantially increase the value of their businesses. And therefore, increasing profitable sales is the cornerstone for making that happen. And as you can see from your workbook there, Andy, the purpose of this workbook is to assist you to identify, plan and evaluate how to substantially increase your profitable sales, i.e. to create your powerful fast growth marketing and sales action plan. And the goal, Andy, is that within 12 months, you increase your profitable sales by between 10 and 20% through your fast growth marketing and action plan.
Excellent.
Would that be something of value to you?
That'd be immensely valuable.
Okay. Okay, so what's the problem? And the problem's on page 1 of the workbook. I'll just read that for you, Andy. Many of us want to substantially grow and sell our respective companies over the next 3 to 5 years. But given the state of the world economy, and it is changing now at long last in 2014, but it certainly has been challenging for many companies in the last 5 years across the world. Many of us find that goal quite challenging. So to counter this challenge, now is the time for us to create and implement your successful fast growth marketing and action plan. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So Andy, let's look at the 3 hints or tips for getting the most out of this workbook and implementing it successfully. Okay?
Absolutely.
If you open up your workbook, there's if you turn to page 2A, and I'll turn this to the camera for the moment, they can see it. What it is a vector. What is a vector? Vector the term is used a lot in America, less so here in Britain, but a vector is something that has got direction and substance. And that's what the sort of image I'm creating here. Your marketing and sales plan for Hantec EQM needs to have direction and substance. Okay. So if you look at the workbook in front of you, there is your vector. What I'm going to ask people to do when they do the workbook is to assess themselves against these 7 factors in this vector. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So over here, number 1, sharpen your market focus. Critical. Get the focus sharp.
Yeah.
And then down this side, the 3 normal things associated with marketing: decide your niche and compelling proposition, etc. Then sales are these 3 things here. Really powerful. As it says in the Carlsberg advert, probably the most important vector in your company.
Okay.
The second hint is from these 7 priorities, you'll identify 3 or 4 or 5 priorities. Is to turn them into goals. We did a lot on goal setting. On page 3 now, having turned those priorities into 3 goals, decide your key actions for each goal. So identify 3 priorities, set a goal for each, which you'll do on page 2, and then agree your key actions. Very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. Can you see how valuable that would be for your company?
Absolutely. It's a process and it looks very good.
And the third hint, probably the most important thing, it's all about taking action and implementing this. If there's one please plan it and then action it. So the final hint is decide your next action. So refine the plan, do it and then refine it. And then most importantly, engage your people in it. And remember, and this applies to many of the things in fast growth, but I'm just, for this one, I want to remember the Whipham factor. What does Whipham factor mean?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me, or if it's a team, what's in it for us? So, of all the 50 workbooks, this is probably one of the most important, and it's the cornerstone of growing your business. Great little planning tool on which you'll come up with an action plan to drive your sales forward. Okay? And the main thing is to do something about it and to action it with your team. Thank you very much for your time, and may I wish you every success at Plantech EQA.
Thank you, Christopher.